Happy New Year!
Yay!
We hope that you're
Goodbye.
on your way to... Bye! That's it. That's all we wanted to say. We hope you are on your way to having a great New Year's Eve celebration and a great 2019 and doing all your... What do we call them? Resolutions?
Yeah.
Resolutions.
Yeah,
That's what they are.
that's that word.
Get in shape.
Yeah.
That's more of a revolution.
Focus on
Yeah.
self-care.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Sleep well. Get some more sleep.
Start a new hobby.
Start a new hobby.
Learn
Make
to
sure to
paint.
connect with friends and family. Don't let work overtake your life, Dan.
Stop and smell the flowers.
Stop and smell the flowers. There's lots to do. But
Start a new drug.
we're just,
Quit an old
there's a
drug.
lot of options. Some of them are legal now in certain places. Ed Greer, Joe Star, Roth Cornet, that's Dan Merle. We're going
Hello.
to talk about what we wish in the next year, in 2019, out of our entertainments.
Indeed.
What do we wish from Hollywood this year, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
What do we want them to do for us?
So many things.
So many things.
Yes.
We want them to employ us. Which
Yeah,
is
that
good.
would be
That's
nice.
happening.
That would
Yep.
certainly be nice.
Yeah. So what would you like to see in 2019 out of your entertainment?
My first wish, and apologies.
You have three.
I have three wishes. My first.
More wishes.
My first wish, and I know that I've spoken about this at length. I need the Academy Awards. I wish Toni Collette an Oscar.
Yes.
It's a small thing. I'm only going to touch on it briefly because I know that I've talked about it at length. I rarely, awards are subjective, and I rarely throw my support this vigorously behind somebody. She was so good.
Yeah.
So good. And she's being ignored at press time right now, today, the 31st of January. And I want her to win. I don't want her to just get nominated. I want her to win. I don't think it's going to happen, which is why it's my wish and
Yeah.
not my hope. I would like to wish her an Oscar.
Well, we're making
Hereditary.
wishes. We're making wishes. They don't necessarily have to be realistic. I will say I 100% agree with you about that performance and also the attention that film deserves. And probably that is the best chance to get attention that film has, which is through her performance. It's not looking good at press time. She's
Not
not
looking
getting a
good.
lot of noms. Joe Star, what do you want from the Hollywoods?
My first Hollywood wish is very simple. I'm very excited about the new Godzilla movie.
Yes.
I think it's going to be the best movie of 2019.
I
Okay.
talked
I'm very
about this
excited.
in a whole different video in our 2019 preview, Joe Star, and I echoed your sentiments.
Well, did you echo this sentiment that in this movie that I think will be the best movie of 2019? My hope and wish is that Mothra's fairies are in the movie. Mothra can only be summoned by two Indonesian fairies that sing in Malay to summon Mothra, and that's it. So
Love
I
those
need
fairies.
I need those fairies there. You know, you can update them. You can because the original fairies were like a pop duo
Yeah.
that were signed by Columbia, and that's why they put them in. If you need to do that again, if Baby Metal
Sure.
summons the fairies or pop sensation BTS
Yeah.
can do it too, that's fine. Just as long as tiny people summon that kaiju, I'll be happy. That's my first wish. I feel like it's a wish well spent.
I think it is a well spent wish. I worry about if it's going to come true or not, but I think it's a
It's
well
fair.
spent wish. I don't know if Godzilla is going to be the best movie of 2019, but I know I can't wait. Ed Greer. It's giant. It's giant monsters beating each other up.
I'm pretty excited.
So
Yeah.
I don't. It's just like,
I'm down for
Looks
K-pop
great.
fairies. It's fine.
Yep.
I think mine is more general than that. I would really like for Netflix to use its powers of distribution to have more small sci-fi, more of that mid-range movie that never gets made in the theaters. I'd really like for them to open that up and do a little less weird original series that suck and they're going to cancel in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? I would like for them to do really great miniseries that kind of end. And I would like for them to start producing smaller sci-fi movies like Upgrade. Imagine how much better it would be if Upgrade was a Netflix movie and hit the net, and everybody would go, "Wow, look at this awesome movie on that! This is amazing." I think those filmmakers would have got more props. I think what's the guy who plays Bane?
Tom
Tom
Hardy.
Marty.
Not Tom Hardy. is the star
Oh.
of Upgrade. Not
Logan
Tom-
Marshall Green. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy is great. He's officially the not Tom Hardy, and boy, he's amazing in that movie. He's even great in Homecoming. He's a great actor. If something like that came out on Netflix, or if that was a regular event on Netflix, something like Upgrade coming out on Netflix every few months, that'd be sick.
Yeah,
and I think it would help sci-fi filmmakers.
You've got stuff like that, the horror anthology that Hulu is doing. But yeah, I think more just double down on like projects like that, just small, mid-range, especially like the miniseries idea, like you talk about. I think that's really cool. Just like it's 4 episodes and it's done and it was good.
Billy Business, what do you want from Hollywood? Sure.
Yeah.
Circle
Yeah.
back.
Circle back.
Circle back.
You want Hollywood to circle back to
I want
you?
to circle back all the way to the silent era, really. I just want to experience what it was like to see a silent film, maybe some Todd A.O. movies. By the way, I don't know if you kids know what Todd A.O. is. They used to have a separate camera that would shoot a separate type of aspect ratio in film, and they would have to do the movie twice. So if you've ever seen Oklahoma, look for the Todd A.O. version of Oklahoma. It's all like the second or third takes because they couldn't use the same version. They had to use totally different films. They made them film the whole thing twice. It's nuts.
Oh.
Is that what Tommy Wiseau was trying to do?
Yes.
It's very similar, actually. It's like, let's have these two different types of film that don't work and make one movie. Just do it twice. It's not that hard.
Yeah, no big deal.
I think my wish is probably the least realistic wish, which is I think that we're careening toward, like, there's just too much of everything. You know, which is good and bad, because the good part about that is that people are working and people can make things because Netflix will buy them, which is good. But the bad part of that is on the consumer side, I think it's getting very, very overwhelming. And that a lot of those projects that have been made get lost in the glut. I mean, imagine being the show on Netflix that they just don't decide to promote, you know?
And you're like, cool.
Great. Yeah. You're just completely lost in that algorithm hoping to pop up somehow.
Yeah.
So I wish that things would just get a little more streamlined. And I'm of two minds about that, because when things get more streamlined, that means consolidations, which we're seeing probably too much of, more and more consolidations. And then you're looking at the internet becoming the cable model of bundles and things like that. So I'm not saying I actually have the solution. I just think that what's currently happening cannot sustain. Like, we can't have to subscribe to 15 different services to watch entertainment, and everything is so fragmented, and it's so hard for anything to come to the surface now. And I believe there's probably a lot of great shows and movies that are just lost in the mix, like Hereditary and Tony Collette, for example. I mean, people didn't respond to that movie, is the
It
truth.
feels personal.
It does. Well, it is for her.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But more for me.
More for you.
than her.
Yeah, no, definitely.
More,
definitely.
it's more personal to
No,
me
for
than
sure.
even Tony
When she
Collette.
wins that
For
Oscar,
sure.
if you don't get mentioned, I will be
I'll be
angry.
pissed
I
off.
mean, it's
Yeah.
the least she could do.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, she's
Like-
got to thank you, and I'd like to thank
Dan's
Dan
like-
Merle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't, and I wonder what you guys kind of think the answer for this is, because I think the consolidations are a little bit alarming, you know, on a consumer basis and on a creative basis. There's ways that could go that would not be good for anybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's chaos.
Yeah, I don't know if
Find
it's
a solution for me, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the walled garden is the answer, where it's like, here are my things, and you have slightly different things maybe, and that's fine. This is my little garden, and my little garden is Hulu and the Disney service, and those are the things that I'll focus on and watch and worry about. I don't know if that's necessarily the answer, because that means more in-depth discovery for shows, but at a lower number and rate, you know.
It's kind of what we're seeing.
Yeah, yeah.
I almost, I don't know. I don't want to be too Skip Bayless. I've been doing a lot of sports metaphors today.
I like
it's
this.
really
Yeah,
going
yeah.
over well with the people.
Sure.
But there's a guy named Skip Bayless, and he kind of sucks, and he's always this contrarian all the time. Sometimes he's right, but broken clock. You know what I mean? And basically, I don't know that this is a problem because in my household, let's say, the only time I run into it is when a truly special program comes on a channel I don't have, and I'm just like, damn. And then a minute later, it's on Netflix. So who cares? Like, I think it's going to be a triumph for patience.
Do we?
I think this new era is going to be a triumph for patience. You don't have to see the newest thing all damn day. Stay off of Twitter for a second. Go read a book. Play with your kid.
But
revisit
maybe
later.
and maybe this is where my professional bias is showing, because I feel like I do. I feel like I do have to be on top of whatever the latest thing is, and it's increasingly hard. And now probably Cobra Kai, with the changes around YouTube, I have to assume they're going to put that front facing with ads.
But there's
because
always
that's
been a
the plan
cost.
around a lot of their programming.
Well, there's always been a cost to being like you and like Dan and like I'm trying to be like Joe is. This sort of I'm up on everything. I got an opinion on everything. But you know what I mean?
Who we are?
I think
Hope not.
no. Hey, look, no. I didn't say that
hip.
pejoratively.
We sound like assholes.
I did not mean to say that pejoratively. There's a whole group in the chat who thinks that I stick my foot in my mouth all the time, and I'm just like, that's how I talk. I'm a foot in the mouth guy. But I'm just saying, like, we have to know stuff. The regular consumer doesn't even know that Super Rolling Cities or whatever is going to come out until they see the fourth trailer and
Mortal Engines.
They
still don't know.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll see a bus ad with a red mask, and that's how they'll know.
Is
They
that
don't
for
have-
Robin Hood?
Yeah, exactly. Robin Hood and the Rolling Cities.
Oh.
Just put it together. Oh,
Those are consolidations I can get
Where
behind.
were you 3 years ago?
Dude,
Ed?
I was trying to get on here.
Oh man.
But yeah, so that's
Did
what
you know who we were 3 years ago? We didn't. Well, this didn't exist 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
No, it
this
didn't.
present.
Screen Junkies
I knew who
Yes.
you were, Ed.
This present beautiful configuration didn't exist.
Yeah.
But so all I'm saying is, like, I just feel like you are a special case. You're like Bruce Banner talking about, well, the purple pants manufacturers are just screwing me. And it's like, you're the one wearing purple pants, buddy. You and your crew wear purple pants, and you're gonna have to deal with the fact that you're gonna have to have the CBS crap app and the this and the that. You get a bunch of email addresses, free trials, get nuts.
Is this
But
the new? Have we
know.
created the new guy at the vinyl shop that knows everything about music? Or like, oh, you're looking for that? Well, let me take you 8 levels deeper on your Netflix queue, and maybe you'll like and then throwing out shows.
Well,
Sure,
that's
it's a
true.
service.
It's a
Yeah.
service.
Service.
It is.
Yeah, and actually, to your point, Joe, maybe my complaints are misspent in the sense that, like, it really does justify why things like this exist, because we can be the people that are like,
Exactly.
we watch all this crap, so you don't have to.
Thank you for being.
Yeah, boom.
Roth is the beacon on the hill.
Follow me.
Yeah, I
I will
envision.
lead you to Hill House.
Yes.
I envision Roth as a lighthouse. Yeah, most of the time. A lighthouse on stormy seas.
That's right.
Yeah.
A
Huh.
birdhouse in our souls.
Well, my vague wish has yielded vague results and answers.
As they
and-
should.
Do you have another one?
Do we have 2 or 3 wishes? Do we still have 3 wishes?
I
We have 2
was
wishes.
making up rules as we went
Oh,
along.
okay.
How many wishes do you want?
I went
many
by.
wishes should we
I
all
went
have?
standard wish rules and went 3.
3.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so here's my second wish.
Okay.
Movie theater owners, I wish they'd start doing their job. Owners
Oh
and
my God,
managers.
yeah.
Here's the thing: we're in it. We were just talking about it with all these streaming services. There's never been more of a threat to movies playing in theaters. And the one thing that you don't want is to give people a disincentive to go see a movie. There's already so many of those. The fact that the theatrical window is now 3 months instead of 9 months. The fact that there are movie quality TV shows playing. The fact that Netflix is making movies to watch on your TV. Movie theater managers and the chains, the AMCs, they got to start making policies. You have got to start monitoring your screens. You've got to start making sure they're projected properly, that the sound is right, that the light is right, that you're masking it in the correct aspect ratio. And I know that this will
And that
be...
the human beings aren't being monsters.
Yes, that's the biggest thing. I know that this is costly, and I know that it would require a lot. But the movie theaters, you're fighting for your life here, and you have got to have people that go into these theaters while the movie is playing and curb the bad behavior. No phones. If people are talking, the behavior in theaters has gotten so bad, it has started to bleed. Roz, I'm sure you've noticed this too. It has started to bleed into critic screenings, which is so discouraging that the texting and the phones and the talking has now started bleeding into even the early screenings that are supposed to be like with the audience that should respect the movie the most.
Yeah.
And yet it is now bleeding even into those. There have to be people there to enforce those rules, because every time I talk about this, I cannot tell you how many times I get stuff on Twitter from people saying like, I would love to go see movies, but the last 5 times I've gone, it's been ruined by somebody talking. It's been ruined by somebody using their phone. It's been ruined by somebody, causing a disturbance. And nobody's curbing that behavior, and it is actively driving people away from theaters.
That's why it's a hard sell to get my wife to go see anything, because rightfully so. Like she'll be like, well, remember when this happened, and then this happened the next time we went, and then this happened the next time we went, and then that guy literally had just an iPad in my face the whole,
And I can't do it anymore.
It's
very uncomfortable. It's so out of my comfort zone. I'll do it because there's nobody. I shouldn't have to do it. There should be someone there. I'm not saying there has to be somebody there for the entire movie, but you should work out a rotation that somebody is walking into these theaters every 10 minutes or so. It doesn't have to be the same person, making sure that it is the kind of experience that it deserves to be, because you have got to stay competitive, or else it is going to become a specialty market.
All right.
So that's my wish.
In the field of mashup reboots, we got Movie House. It's a mashup of like Cinema Paradiso or something and Roadhouse, and we got a guy that the hero Dan wants. That comes into a town with a crappy theater that's run down, and he's like, "You guys aren't projecting in the right aspect ratio. You're not masking. It's ruining everything." And he comes in, and is like, "Be nice until it's time to throw somebody's popcorn on the ground and kick them in the nuts." You know what I mean? I think that's a great thing.
There's like a 16-year-old projectionist that's like, he keeps breaking my knees.
Dude, I really think that I agree with you, because I have come into this thing of like assigned seating. Jazz, and like you go into assigned seating and there's a freaking family there, and you're just like, dude, you took your family to a assigned seating movie and just decided to sit wherever you wanted because nobody's gonna move your family. Well, guess who's gonna move your family? This guy.
Yeah.
Me and a 16-year-old are gonna move your family because I bought these seats.
I've had a number of occasions where people will creepily come in 20 minutes into the movie, but like a lot adult people in suits. These aren't like kids that are like, let's sneak into another one, which I'm like, get it. It's fine. You're a teenager. But these are like adult people, and it's just, I find it so distracting because they inevitably always sit near me and have like a backpack, and I'm like, great, is this the end? And I'm being honest because for whatever reason, movies have always been my safe place and what I really love. So as a result, my neurotic mind is like, that's now the most scary place. You know?
Yes.
Like, and I'm just like, is anyone noticing this? Like the usher, like, get rid of them because this is creeping me out more than anything. It's just so distracting. I know that sounds like an odd nitpick.
But to Dan's point, though, it is because it's a bunch of 16 and 15-year-old people who are just like, dude, this is my first job. I got my Beats headphones in half the time. Come on, man, I just can't. Because I've definitely been in theaters where it's supposed to be like that, ArcLight, stuff like that. Seen a guy messing up in ArcLight, and some 17-year-old stand-up comic comes in and just sort of looks.
I don't want to deal with any of this.
You know what I mean? And so, I used to be a security guard at a library, and let me tell you something. I was 19 years old, fat boy in a polyester suit. A lot of videotapes got stolen. A lot of comic books got put into briefcases and taken out right in front of me because guess who's not confronting anybody? I'm trying to write a screenplay. Screw you guys. You know what I mean? So that sort of, instead of having that sort of person as every single, person at the movie theater, maybe 4/5 of the people will be that, and a few of them will be, Mr. T or something.
Yeah. If you curb that behavior, people will stop doing it. Like, people legitimately need to be told that it's not. Like, one time there was a guy sitting next to me that had his phone. I was doing The Revenant, had his phone out, kept pulling his phone out and just like lighting up and just like texting it. And he's sitting right as close as I am to Ross. And after about 5 minutes, I was just like, can you not do that, please? And he was like, what's wrong? I was like, your phone is really distracting. And he literally just goes, so? And I was like, well, I paid money to see this movie, and I didn't pay money to see your phone. So if you're going to use your phone, can you use it outside? And he walked outside, and he walked outside 3 times during the movie and missed, I promise you, 45 minutes of the movie. And this is a sold-out screening. Why? I don't know. Obviously, he didn't care about the movie. But it sounds weird, but like if you tell people that that's not the right thing to do, a lot of them will go like, oh, really? Like, yeah. They just need someone to tell them, even though the stupid screen tells them before the movie. They don't pay attention to that.
Well,
Popcorn guy at AMC.
Should that thing be scarier?
I think,
Like more threatening?
Draft
Word.
House does that.
yeah, like we will murder you if
Yeah.
you take out your stuff. I don't think. I mean, I think that brings us. You guys have a couple more wishes left, and we'll. This was an important wish,
Sorry.
Dan. No. This was an important wish.
That
for
was
you.
a late
We
wish.
obviously all have strong feelings about naturally, but I think that brings up another thing, which is just civility in how I wish. And again, I'm going to wish for unicorns. I wish we could calm down. I really do. Like, I wish that we could really put things in perspective. We're talking
cool.
about movies and television, which doesn't mean a lack of passion ever, and it doesn't mean a lack of care. Obviously there's a lot of passion at this table around entertainment, but I really am growing weary of the toxic nature of how we discuss things that are just they're just entertainment, and
Everyone needs to take a step back because it's like a game of escalation. It's just like you push someone harder and they push back. So then you push back harder, then they push back harder. And then it just becomes toxicity all around.
Yeah.
my experience with movie fights was always that you went in and it's a game and you're trying to win the point and you're making stronger arguments than maybe you actually, because it's a debate, you know, it's just a game. But then no, it's not taken. It wasn't, and I think that's changed
It's
a little
gotten
bit.
a little
but
better, yeah.
It was
It's
not
gotten better.
taken as such.
Well, I just would like a certain amount of self-awareness to come in, because we are on TV and we can look in the chat, we can look in our Twitter, we can look at different things to gauge how we're received. If you make a flippant joke about Mountain Dew, let's say, and you were
Months ago.
attacked for like 4 days, you know what I mean? You can see your effect on people and what people care about. I would just wish for a little self-awareness from us as an industry and even the people who would like to be in this industry. I think a certain amount of self-awareness is really beneficial, and I really wish it would go along with your civility thing, because part of being civil is being
Self-aware.
self-aware.
Yeah,
That's
that's true, and that comes with time sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Just Art, do you have a wish?
Yeah, my second wish is probably about the same level as just this call for civility and self-awareness. This is an era for justice for Tonys, and
Yes.
mine is not Tony Collette. Dan, that is your Tony Torch. My Tony Torch is that 2019 is the year that everyone just really starts to appreciate in a very real way. Tony Shalhoub,
Oh.
America's sweetheart, Tony Shalhoub. Should have completely snubbed out of the Golden Globes for Marvelous Maisel Season 2, which he's incredible in. If you haven't started watching it yet, he's absolutely amazing.
But those nominees are for season 1.
Still shut out from his performance for Marvelous Miss Maisel Season 1. Are they? Because I feel like didn't it win award? Time's a flat circle to me at this point.
The time frames are all different.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
It's insane.
Okay. Regardless, this needs to be the year where maybe there are just Tony Shalhoub awards, where we recognize his role in Galaxy Quest, where we learn to reappreciate Monk.
Yeah.
And just
The Lubies.
Yeah, the Lubies.
A Shalhoubissance.
The
what you want. Yeah.
100% a Shalhoubissance, where because this guy's not out of gas, man.
No.
Still just crushing it. Tony Shalhoub, civility, self-awareness, Tony Collette. Tony
Tony
Shalhoub.
Shalhoub. Yeah, it
I like
brings
it.
it all. I wish we had ended on that. We're not going to.
No, we have so many more wishes.
We're going to wrap it up we'll go through our final wishes pretty rapidly, but doubling down on that, Mrs. Maisel Season 2 is fantastic. And Tony Shalhoub has some, not just scene stealing, but kind of episode stealing moments this season that I deserve all the accolades.
Because Amy Sherman, why does her name always leave me? She has a very certain writing style, and a lot of the times it can come off as very I'm watching a Neil Simon play at a theater, and he does just this incredible job taking that kind of dialogue and actually making it sound real and organic, and it's great. He's so awesome in it.
He also is so understated in the performance, where I think a lot of times with actors,
Which is
that
hard
gets
for an Amy
lost.
Sherman Palladino show.
Yeah, exactly. Dan Merle.
One final wish.
All right.
And I know that perfection is unattainable in a subjective world, but as
Unless
close
you're
as
Collette or
possible.
Shalhoub.
What's that?
Unless you're Colette or
Unless
Shaloub.
you're, yes, Shaloub. A Tony in general. As much as possible, I would just wish that Star Wars Episode 9 would just be like perfect and amazing. And not because I'm a Star Wars fan and not because I'm a Disney shill, but because society needs it to be.
Yeah.
If
we want the other wishes about civility to come true,
we just
need
need
it to be perfect.
another, just one more, just great Star Wars movie.
I feel like your wish is the one that triggers all of these.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you accomplish that, but like, just man, wouldn't that be amazing?
I think we solve war.
I think we would solve so many problems if Star Wars Episode 9 was just like incredible.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Just the Taliban and Delta Force soldiers sitting in
just
the
immediately,
watching
I was like, you know what? Let's put the
like
guns
that World
down.
War I Christmas story.
I think everything trickles out from there.
I think it does.
Yeah.
Just
You're right.
just to come back 2 years later, and just like, I don't know how you would do it, but just to just put a period at the end of that sentence and walk away, and everyone's happy, and the way things used to be when we all just loved Star Wars. And
Remember that?
although
that was a long time ago.
it was a long time ago, and
in America far,
far away. But
a lot of people weren't even born yet.
of all of my wishes, except for Toni Collette and maybe the movie theater one, I wish this one to come true the most, because it would just be.
I mean, of
great,
all your
wouldn't it?
wishes, I gotta say this one has the largest global impact.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It all hinges on Episode 9. I don't know. Do you feel like you want to share your other wishes, or do we want to leave it on a perfect Star Wars?
I mean, my third one's pretty solid.
Okay, no. Share.
Joe has great confidence in wish number 3.
So the streaming wars are escalating.
Yeah.
And my third wish is for Disney to start making some really crazy moves against their competitors, Apple and Amazon. And the big crazy move I want to see Disney make in 2019 is Amazon bought Whole Foods. I want Disney to buy Trader Joe's. And when you go to Trader Joe's in the future, you'll be able to rent stuff from the Disney Vault. The Trader Joe's flyer will come with like a free subscription. All of their like JoJo's and their all of their Joe branded beers and stuff will all get Disney themes.
Yeah.
I think this is the move. If you order stuff from the Disney store, you can pick it up at your local Trader Joe's. That's the next step of this weird
Just
war
thinking
that I
of
want
the
to
$2
have happen.
wine that it would now
$2
be.
duck.
Yeah,
$2
$2
Perfect.
Oh man.
I'm happy. We got
Ed
us a
Greer,
$2
what
duck.
superstore do you want to be?
Not Walmart. That's perfect. I think that's a great wish.
All right, I'll make one more wish, and this one's personal, meaning it's for me specifically. I have had this wish. Do you know how I feel about genetically engineered water beasts? Like how much
who
I love
doesn't?
them. I mean, thank you. So I love terrible, both good and bad movies about giant sharks and orcas and just things of the ocean coming forth. And I'm just looking at you, Asylum. I'm right here, ready to get eaten in one of your movies. You know, I've been waiting. I'm on the bench. I'm warmed up. I've been practicing off season. I'm ready to get in there and green screen this bitch with you. I am here for you. Any like, if it's an alligator, fine. I prefer a shark. It doesn't have to be a shark. I would even go python for you. Anaconda, again, is preferred because it does have the water element to it. But I'm here. I've just been waiting. I've been
get behind
asking for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Like, I'm geared. I'm warmed up. I'm geared up. I've practiced.
Is
like
2019
the year of
This is hashtag Shark Eats Roth.
Shark Eats Roth.
Yeah,
This needs to
what it is.
happen.
Yeah.
I feel like we can make this happen this afternoon.
Yeah,
I feel like we could.
Everybody said, like, whenever I bring this up, everybody's like, I got a guy. You don't, because it
Find
hasn't
your guy.
happened yet. Find the guy.
Everyone
the
start
guy.
tweeting at Asylum. Start tweeting at Asylum.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Shark Eats
Roth.
Roth.
Eats Roth.
Yeah. I'll support
This
that.
really should have. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm
Thank
into
you.
this.
We
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah.
Of
I think
we can
everything
do
that we
this.
proposed today,
We can do
this
this.
is
We
the
can
thing that
actually
we
make
can
this
do.
happen.
We can do this.
Yes.
All right, we can do it. Ed, do you have a final?
No, yeah, Shark Eats Roth.
Shark,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Doubling
Shark
down.
Eats Roth. Yeah, I'm
You
really
gave
into
your
it.
wish to me. Oh
Yeah.
my God, thank you so much,
I'm
Ed.
into
Now I
it.
feel bad about the Trader Joe's bit.
I mean, that's a great bit. If I was gonna say my wish, please Disney streaming service, don't do a big series of a bunch of these dumb characters. If you want to try out some jazz, some little lore, some Night Thrasher type characters, give them like a 2-part movie.
Ooh, nice.
You know, I think that'd
Same
be the money.
difference.
Same
Yeah.
difference,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then we get the nerds talking and give them a nice little slam dunk second part a couple months later or a few weeks later. Boom.
I like that.
I like
think
it.
that'd be a great idea.
That
I like
sounds
it.
But yeah,
awesome.
Shark Eats Roth is so much better than that.
Shark
So
Eats
yeah,
Roth.
Shark Eats Roth.
Hashtag Shark Eats Roth.
Hashtag Shark Eats Roth. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate your well wishes for this year. I hope we can make all these dreams come true
We
for
will.
you, but mostly for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
All right.
selfish people.
We will see you in 2019.
Bye.